Now, moving on to Iran and the US, which have wrapped up their first round of talks in Oman over Tehran's nuclear program, the highest level meeting between the two powers since 2018. Iran's foreign minister called the talks productive and positive, while both sides described them as constructive.
We participated with the necessary seriousness. Our intention is to reach a fair and honourable agreement from a position of equality. If the other side has entered with the same approach, then God willing, there will be a chance for a preliminary understanding that could lead to a negotiated path.
And here's President Trump's take on what went down.
Nothing matters until you get it done, so I don't like talking about it, but it's going okay. The Iran situation is going pretty good.
Are there other talks that are going well, sir?
I think.
Are there other talks that are going well in addition to the Iran?
There are other talks going well.
All the talks are going well.
Yeah, everything's going well. He's a boss. We know all this. But look, obviously, this is very important. This is all, of course, over fears that Iran is close to having weapons-grade uranium, in other words, a nuclear weapon. And we don't need to spell out the dangers here of Tehran having a nuclear weapon. Evelyn, we've seen how much damage they've already caused lately through their proxies in Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis lately. Let's all hope that these talks are effective and that they are productive, as the foreign minister of Iran says.
Look, yeah, I honestly would be very happy if countries that follow the ideologies and the morality based on the authority of Islam do not have nuclear-grade weapons in their possession. I think we can all kind of say that would be a good thing. But perhaps I might be in a different school of thought here. I hope that all we do is have talks, that we as nations can, I guess, somewhat coexist as individual nations. But my goodness, if another nation came to Australia, though, and said to us, you're not allowed to build nuclear weapons, I'd be like, well, I'd probably flip them the bird and kick him off on a plane. I just find it really arrogant. I do for other nations meddling in other nations' business. As much as I don't want Iran to have this, and I can say that, like me as a human being, there's absolutely no way I want them to have nuclear weapons. But I do think that all it should be is having healthy relationships, even if that means you're not friends with Iran, so to speak, you're not allies with Iran, but you are at least on terms where we're not going to spark another war which has nuclear weapons. I think that would be the wise thing to do. I think we can't afford another war. So if these talks don't go well, I hate to see where that ends, because it's unfortunately...
I suspect that they already are flipping America the bird as they fly away.
Everything they've done over the past couple of years is pretty much
couple of years, this has been going on for decades. I mean, this is why Israel has always been worried about Iran.
Yes.
This is why the Palestine problem is bigger than just Israel and Palestine. It's because Iran has always been involved in Palestine. The Palestinians are a proxy. Everybody has always been afraid of Iran. It's just more on the table at the moment than it has been in a decade or so.
That's very true. It goes back a long time, and it's just really that we've seen since October 7 what chaos that can absolutely bring when
we do not want Iran to have a nuclear bomb.
We absolutely don't, and I think at any
well
cost.
within its rights.
Yeah. And it's not just one
that
country telling another country you can't have these weapons. Since the 1950s, since the Cold War, there's been a global agreement that we want to restrict the number of countries that have nuclear weapons and not let them spread. Now, it hasn't always worked. North Korea has got nuclear weapons and we didn't like that idea. But there's been an international agreement that we restrict this to the people who've got it already.
I think that every nation has a right to defend itself.
So we're stupid thing about
Iran can stop Iran from doing whatever it wants.
Exactly.
We can say we're not going to trade with you if you have nuclear weapons. We're not going to sell you the uranium.
The stupid thing about the non-proliferation was that it meant that all of the law-abiding countries didn't develop nuclear programs or didn't keep their nuclear weapons, and all of the non-law-abiding countries, such as North Korea, such as Iran, went right on ahead.